Wonder what's back here. I can't believe it. It fits. Don't let the side down.
Scour the tomb. Recover the artifact. The intruder is to be shot on sight. Understand? Yes, sir.
Shit. If I don't get out of here, I am done for.
The intruder is still here. Find her. She may have already found the artifact.
Job done. Still got it.
How'd she get away from us?
here we are. Down you go.
You know, the whole hood and robe look hasn't been in for a few centuries.
Perhaps you don't understand what's happening here. I've killed you. You're dead.
And I get to die having lived a successful life. Which is more than I can say about your cowardly brotherhood.
Watch yourself.
You know, I would have so much more respect for you and your people if you refused my offer to leave the city. If you just stayed and fought. Killing me won't change anything. The Templars are everywhere. And your brotherhood is too scared to ever come back. You want my advice? Find better people to fight with. Shouldn't be that hard.
Oh, fuck him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Not right now.
I have Darcy's signal.
Do you read? What happened in there? Westerly's dead and the tomb is safe, for now. There's no way I can leave the city. If my ancestors could take on the Templars, then so can I. But I need a brotherhood.
Not to put anyone on the spot, but DedSec's a brotherhood of sorts, isn't it?
Brotherhood, sisterhood, siblinghood, whatever hood, really. If you're willing to stand up for the city, we're happy to have you. And I won't lie, it really doesn't hurt that you seem to be some kind of ninja with ancient superpowers. We definitely don't have one of those yet.
I'll take it under advisement.
Come on, pack it in. Where are they?
that however ill you may be, Bloom are keeping an eye on things for you.
I'm investing heavily in the placebo effect right now. You're listening to The Bug.
Obviously, I don't entirely mean that, because what is the first rule of the third millennium? If someone in power tells you something is fake news, what is it? Correct. A 110% cast iron, tungsten-coated, granite-centered, cosmically immutable, scientifically unarguable fact. But surely, Alistair...
Suspect reported in your area, potentially armed and hostile.
Be advised, we are on the trail.
Is this. Do we actually need medicine? If you today got diagnosed with a potentially fatal illness, would you not look at the nation that we've become and think, hey doc, put your life-saving treatment down, I'm going to take this free one-way bus out of here. Now hold that pillow over my face until the twitching stops.
I just don't think we should think of it in such a negative way. Don't think of it as a medicine diet, Andy. Think of it as a series of healthy lifestyle swaps. Swap out anti-inflammatories for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium lung. Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously, critical shortages are as much part of our daily lives, our society and our culture today as things like football.
In pursuit. I repeat, we are in pursuit.
In the old days, and well, food shortages, yeah, we just learned to live with it, don't we? There's a lot of positives as well with all these food shortages. I mean, we were eating too much anyway. As a nation, the government's just helping us live healthier lifestyles. It's so hard
All
to die
units,
on your
disengage.
own.
The suspect has
Or a friend,
disappeared.
or a loved one, or a government, or collapsing social infrastructure. Positive 2, meat, very bad for the environment. So we're actually rebuilding the polar ice caps every time we eat a scrap of lettuce. 3, positive 3, the human race had already cooked all the recipes it needed. There was nothing more to be done with food. We've done that, we can tick it off, we've done it. I was bored of food anyway, I've been eating it all my life. If you've been doing the same thing 3 times a day, 4, sometimes 7, or even 8.
I've taken the liberty of perusing the shipping manifests. Clan Kelly took possession of 3 crates originating from Cairo.
Filled with Kronos X, I'd wager. Let's bust up this little drug party, shall we?
About that, the crates have some kind of trap mechanism that releases nerve gas when tampered with. Surprisingly creative security measure. Normally they rely on burly lads with sacks of doorknobs.
Fortunately, destroying things without touching them is one of my fortes.
That'll make the streets marginally cleaner. Get out of there.
That's it. No sense looking for her anymore.
Well, the supply is taken care of, but the supply line is still functional.
I can help with that. Clan Kelly gets their Kronos X out of Cairo through a broker. Abby Tran. I found out through an informant that she accompanied the latest shipment.
Then we might be able to find her at the shipyard.
We need to keep that rubbish off the streets.
Suspect is unsighted. Unsighted sweeping area.
Wanting things that they could previously get through TP and can now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there...
This is the shipyard where Clan Kelly received the Kronos X. Time to find Abby Tran and make sure she doesn't broker any more deals.
I've looked into this drug. It was developed for the military. In low doses, it heightens reflexes, lowers response times, turns soldiers into killing machines. That's not exactly the sort of thing you just put on the streets. Perhaps the Kellys intended to use it to sharpen up their goons.
I think what we've come to now, the key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, with these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached a situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not struggling and short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental inequality in the capitalist system, which is no longer producing the goods for most of us. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what they want and not give the rest of us what we need. So the excuse that there's simply not enough to go around is the justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving...
The deadlock has been disabled. That artifact you were after is up for grabs once again.
If your parents can't get their medicine and your brothers and sisters have to steal...
You should be able to find Abby Tran somewhere nearby.
We just need the guts to take it.
No sign of anything wrong. I'll keep looking.
Your time is running out. Go and have a butcher's. Go!
Nobody's here. Searching elsewhere.
Unbelievable! How'd they get away?
Oh, that's just
I'm gonna be sick.
Can't show you.
And the case is deadlocked. Time to go.
Nasty ass prick.
I hate putting Mary Kelly on the back burner while she continues to destroy lives with those microchips, but for now, we've no choice.
Then perhaps it's time to have a closer look at the elephant in the room. Nigel Cass, billionaire warmonger and current CEO of our local horde of thugs, Albion PMC.
Cass certainly did most from the bombings. We can inspire London to resist from now till forever, but it still won't break Albion's grip on the city. Not with Cass at the top.
So, we're going to take on the head of the barbarous PMC outfit, currently treating London like its own private occupation zone. Remind me again how that's not suicide?
Bagley's come across a possible gap in Cass's armor. An ex-insider, ex-friend with an axe to grind. He'd be an asset if we can find and convince him to work with us. Come to the safe house. We'll talk it through.
Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming Data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so.
Cream and spice and all things nice. That's what little treats are made of. Sanjoli's Kitchen, voted best.
Let's find this one.
Interested, mate.
Who has taken away your housing? Who has slashed your access to medical care, your pension, your children's schools? Who has stripped you of meaningful employment, inflated the market, made it lousy maggots? All units, possible suspect or suspects reported near your location. Received. Responding to the situation now. That does it. I'll shoot! Come on then!
I'll back you up.
Stay focused. I'll be okay.
Control, I can't see the suspect. Please advise.
Here somewhere!
This wall's a bit drab, isn't it? Museum quality, I'd say.
Let's put out an AEW. We're getting nowhere to.
Done and done.
You're done so far as the Imperial War Museum's concerned, but a little less Albion propaganda in Lambeth will go a long way.
Nothing to report. Checking elsewhere.
There's no sign of them. Send a description with the report.
Get the fuck out of here! Nice try, asshole. Here's a place that you'll never forget. They gotta be somewhere.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went. Probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by Barcelona. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine it probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors, who provide such a very valuable Albion service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts. Alice, I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? What is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota somehow.
Well, what is the set rate?
All right, everyone, just stay calm.
Right, let's talk about Albion PMC, the only British organisation to successfully oppress more of the developing world than the British government, led by Nigel Cass, a man the partisan media calls a charismatic visionary, and Amnesty International calls a war criminal. Albion was given the key to the city to re-establish order following the bombings.
Suspicious timing, to put it mildly.
It is. So that's two reasons why we need to find an angle on Cass.
We found one. His name, Hamish Balaji. Born in London, Balaji was a recipient of the Cass Foundation Technical Scholarship at 14, which included a mentorship with Cass himself. At 16, Balaji designed Cass's first drone fleet. Fun fact, Cass delayed the launch by a week so it would land on Balaji's birthday.
Cass sounds like Balaji's second dad. Why would he help us?
They had a falling out after an incident in the Niger Delta 3 years ago. A buried human rights investigation accuses Cass of ordering a drone fleet to wipe out a village protesting the construction of a pipeline, but the drones malfunctioned before they could. Balaji is named as the likely saboteur. He's been on the run ever since, but now tracking data shows he's reappeared in London.
Shit, he's looking for redemption like with the protesters. This guy designed Cass's drone fleet. I think he's trying to disarm Albion.
He covers his tracks well, but that's a good guess. Unfortunately, according to this Albion intelligence report intercepted by our friend Caitlin Lau, Cass knows Balaji's in London as well. So, that's the op. Make contact with Balaji before Albion finds him. Then convince him we have a mutual enemy in Cass.
So this guy's our best chance to stop Albion and clear our names. And the largest private army on Earth wants him dead. No pressure.
It took some doing, but I've narrowed down the area where we're most likely to find Hamish Balaji. I've pushed the coordinates to your optic.
I'm the Agent 480 and I can crack a screen hard just by looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore, anyway? Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail. Just
It's very impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
You are listening to the
Well,
button.
98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS, and I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever, in the history of London, ever agreed on anything. You could not get 98% of Londoners to agree that oxygen was better than breathing a fog of raw liquid feces. And they expect us to believe that everyone agrees CTOS is better than not choking on shit mist.
Maybe they just meant 98% of one specific Londoner who bought shares in Bloom before its tentacles grew into every crevice of the country. I mean, this is not just any old poll, we should say that. This is not any poll. This is an official poll, right from the very heart of government. It's not a knock-off fake poll of an elderly couple and their mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting to die. This is an official poll. So let's just put those words, official poll, through an online translator in case you didn't study languages. Let's find out what it actually means. Made up lie. There we go. Glad to clear that up. I don't think it's fair to say entirely trust these official polls. They feed us, Alison, but they could publish an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I will instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They could publish an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer cat food to being whacked with a tennis racket, and I would assume that all cats have gone vegan and are queuing up outside Wimbledon meowing, choose me, choose me.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watched during a breakup. Your judgment is impaired, Sally. I'll make my own decisions.
I trust those polls as much as I would trust Mary Kelly if she came up to me and said, "Congratulations, Andy, you've just won a free holiday to the south of France in the back of this window this van."
Balaji has been snooping into Albion's affairs. Quietly, of course, but I've been able to determine that most of his activity stems from this area.
Shall we pop in for a quick hello?
Not so fast. Hamish isn't in, according to his home security. And before you get ideas, he's rigged his front door to a series of traps designed to delete all of his data and then your life. Not necessarily in that order.
Bruv is paranoid as.
To be fair, you are an armed insurgent trying to break into his flat. Anyway, you should be able to connect to the local grid and use security cameras to disarm his traps.
Okay.
I believe the main interface is on the rooftop.
Bagley, the windows. Think that's our way in?
Sure, if you can get there. 3 options here. 1, use the window washing platform. 2, find a cargo drone. 3, give up, go home, and resolve to be a better person.
On it.